For instance, the face I'm standing on this evening belongs to Elizabeth Hurley. Good evening.
Good evening.
And obviously, we wouldn't have asked Elizabeth to do the show if she looked like this. Beauty does matter. But the odd thing is, it matters even more than we consciously realize.
You know, professionally and personally, it gets you in almost every door.
If they think you're the most stylish man or the most handsome man, then related to work, then wonderful.
It is a true fact of our society that looks are important. And anyone that doesn't believe it, no, these women that say, I keep a clean house, he loves me. No woman's husband ever came home and said, oh, the floor's immaculate, lie down, you hot slut. Never happens.
All the studies show that beautiful people get better jobs and earn more money. Appearances even matter when it comes to getting the top job. For example, which of these two men would you vote for? In September 1960, John Kennedy and Richard Nixon appeared on radio and television battling for the presidency.
I believe the programs that Senator Kennedy advocates will have a tendency to stifle those creative energies.
I really don't need Mr. Nixon to tell me about what my responsibilities are as a citizen.
People who listened to the debate on the radio thought that Nixon had won, but people who watched it on television disagreed. Nixon's sweat and his 5 o'clock shadow put them off, and they pronounced Kennedy the winner. Nixon had refused makeup, saying it was for gays. If you have beauty, it brings many hidden advantages. But what gives it this extraordinary power? After all, Helen of Troy didn't just win the Miss Peloponnese title, she started a 9-year war. Let's start by saying what most people think.
Well, I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, I can think of some very beautiful actresses or models who I think are fabulous, and I can say to a boy, my God, she's gorgeous. I think I can't stand her. I hate those big lips and she's way too thin. But I generally think she's gorgeous.
How do supermodels like Kate Moss affect you? Because the fashion industry is unanimous.
Somebody like Kate's face is incredible because her bone structure just sort of, bowls you over. She has got such fabulous bone structure. So as far as a canvas for a makeup artist to make her up, and she's just so desperately photogenic as well.
Sarah Dukas is head of the Storm Model Agency. She discovered Kate Moss, and she's acknowledged as an expert at spotting the next fashionable face. She believes that ideas of beauty change all the time.
It's very fast-flowing. I mean, we find a lot of faces, and they are fashionable for a moment.
Oh, wow, look at her.
We're constantly looking for new faces.
Look at that.
But it's become voracious.
It doesn't get more voracious than this. 700 entries in a competition to find a new face for the agency.
When it all started 10, 15 years ago, that faces started to look very unconventional. You used to hear people say, she's hideous, or, I think that girl is really quite ugly. I think, the general public were probably quite aghast at some of the strange faces in magazines like The Face, for example. But I think gradually, obviously, it gets inside one, and it's what we consider is beautiful.
Today, Sarah is face-to-face with the 10 finalists she's selected. She's looking for the next beautiful face that will work for the fashion industry. This is Zara, aged 17. This is Samantha, aged 16. Laura, aged 18. Rachel, aged 18. So, who will they go for, and why?
Eyes should be wide space. You can't have a weak jaw. Okay. You can't have a sort of flat nose because the light hits it and you end up sort of with a banana. I love the nose and the mouth. It's slightly imbalanced. It's slight. Do you know what I mean? The eyes are slightly smaller, but she's just got such an interesting.
It's very nice.
Do you think she's a possible?
I'm still. I'm still thinking back to Rachel. I don't know, it's just something about her.
I know, she's serene and beautiful. Although she's terribly pretty and she's beautiful, she's got a very sort of...
There's some disagreement about who is more beautiful, Rachel or Zara.
Yeah, it's not as interesting, I would say.
Yes, it hasn't just got much
as much sort of depth. Whereas somebody like Zara, that's got such a good structure in place, the camera just loves her face.
They've chosen Zara. Would you have? Apart from a big hooter, cross eyes or missing teeth, the widely held view in the fashion industry seems to be that beauty is what the fashion industry says it is. But I suspect there's more to beauty than that. So, what can we say about this potent force in our lives? Well, here's a starting point. Look at the face I'm standing on. Now, whether you think Elizabeth Hurley is extraordinarily pretty or stunningly beautiful isn't worth arguing about, because very few people are going to maintain that she's a total dog.
Thanks, John.
Not at all, Elizabeth.